So sorry for the lateness, everyone. So sorry for the lateness. Alright, just gotta turn off some fees here. Okay, okay, I think we're good. Oh, and we don't need the station info up either. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's get started.
Node 2105.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. I'm Kimberly Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. coordinated at Universal Time, and before we continue, I want to apologize so profusely for not starting the net at 2 a.m. on the dot because I lost track of time and yeah. Yeah. And for that, I am so sorry that the net had to start late. With that out of the way, before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? Turn this down a little bit. Here we go. Okay. If there is an emergency at any time, please say break, and we will assist you promptly. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA plus community and their allies to connect over the airwaves. It is open to all licensed amateur radio operators without the need for membership. We also welcome third-party traffic. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group fosters an inclusive environment for learning, experimenting, and enjoying radio communications. We encourage, promote, and support diversity within the wider radio community. We share our experiences and knowledge, celebrate Pride on the air, and welcome all individuals. To learn more about the Pride Radio Group, join us, and gain access to our Discord chat room, visit prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love, unless you harbor hatred towards us, of course. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, D-Star, and Zello. It is also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, and my YouTube channel, searchable by my call sign Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. For information on how to connect to this network or access our live streams, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger for Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. NetLogger allows you to log into the net, view real-time call signs, and actively participate. For Android and iPhone users, you may download On Air Net Scraper instead. That is On Air Net Scraper. Now, before we start tonight's net, does anyone have news, announcements, or other items to share with the net and the Pride Radio Group? Alright, well, I do have one announcement. We're still looking for folks who are interested in becoming a net control operator for this net. If you're interested in joining the net control operator team, let me know, and we'll see if we could get you in there. The goal is to have, a different net control operator every week on a rotating basis. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. The requirement is that you be part of the Pride Radio Group Discord server, and that you share the net logs with me after all is done. Information on how you can apply can be found by contacting me or by going into the member announcements channel of the Pride Radio Group Discord and clicking on the form the link to the form to apply. Now, I am aware that some people are terrified of clicking on a Google Forms link, so I will more than likely be transferring the form to a different service. With that out of the way, let me reset. Let's move on to check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We'll begin with mobile stations, those short on time, and those who are in and out. If you fall into any of these categories, please come forward with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Feel free to share your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins from mobile, short on time, and in and out stations. Alrighty, hearing no response, we now take check-ins from anyone, anywhere. If you'd like to join the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, please come forward with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. You may also share your pronouns if you wish.
This is
There we go.
KC3 VIU Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform TV. She her pronouns.
Alrighty, KC3 VIU got you down. I just found out again that our Pride Echolink conference server is once again not functioning correctly. So, if you're on the Pride Echolink conference server and you're trying to check in but you're not being heard, please QSY over to KJ7OMO-Lima Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar Lima, because the Pride Echolink conference is not working properly at the moment. So if you're on Echolink, please use KJ7OMO-Lima. Do we have any other check-ins out there? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically.
Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee. Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee.
Okay. That's a voice I have not heard in ages. VK2WAY, got you down. It's about time you made contact with us, doggone it. We'll get with you in just a moment. Anybody else out there wishing to check in? All right, one more time. Anybody else out there wishing to check in before we start going through the list here? Alrighty, folks. Just in case if you're unable to check in via voice, you are welcome to check in via NetLogger. You can check in via the YouTube live stream chat. You can check in via Discord if you're part of the Pride Radio Group Discord server. If you prefer to use WinLink, you are welcome to use WinLink to check in. Just send a WinLink message to my call sign and we'll be sure to get you checked in that way. You can also email me your check-in. My email is kj7omo@gmail.com, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar @gmail.com. You're also welcome to check in via Mastodon. My Mastodon handle is @kj7omo@mastodon.radio, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar @mastodon.radio. If you happen to know my private social media links, you're welcome to use that as well to check in. And for all you non-licensed ham folks out there that are just listening in, but you don't have your ham radio license, well, I encourage you to study for your licenses and take your official exams and get your ham radio license so that you can join in on the fun. Because believe you me, you are missing out on a lot if you don't. With that out of the way, let's go up to our first station on the list. Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. KC3VIU, you're being called KJ7OMO.
I'm sorry, I missed the first call. My friend has gotten this game, more of a simulation called Kerbal Space Program, and it is absolutely fascinating. It's blowing my mind. At any rate, I'm going to hang on and let other people kind of drive the conversation tonight. Back to net control, KG7.
Alrighty, we'll get back with you in a moment. And now we're going to turn it over to a voice we haven't heard in who knows how long. Jared, VK2WAY, you got a lot of catching up and explaining to do. Explain why you've been absent for so long. Yeah, you're a naughty person not keeping in touch with us. Okay, over to you, Jared, KJ7OMO.
G'day, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and the net. This is VK2WAY. Jared is lovely, cool Sydney this afternoon. Outside is about 24.7 degrees at about 55% humidity and a barometric pressure of 1,023, according to my little display on the coffee table anyway, and that's the balcony weather station. I have not had a Sunday off in I cannot remember how long. Kimberly and the net. It has been so long. So my summer has been full of work, lots and lots of cricket, a little bit of a break between winter and summer sports seasons at the moment for me. Perfect timing for me to get crazy busy on our grass float for the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. So the roller derby float returning for our 15th time, yes, 1-5. So lots of crazy times there, getting everything organised. Mardi Gras festival season starts next weekend with Fair Day and goes on for 3 or 4 weeks with lots and lots of events around Sydney. I'm going to try to get to some. Hopefully I do. We'll see how I go time-wise. Quick break and quick reset. Right, let's see, what else? I went along and saw the Pink Summer Carnival tour on Friday night at Sydney Football Stadium. First time I'd been at that venue as a punter, not working. So quite fun to go there. Premium terrace seats, of course. I'm not standing down in the rain with the rest of the folks. So yeah, lovely premium hospitality terrace area where we almost had a bar that was, well, we never had to wait, put it that way, and we had a table even. It was quite far away from the stage, but pretty good view anyway. Yeah, I'll update more on the next go round. But g'day from down under, Kimberly and everyone. Back to you, KJ7 Alma, VK2 WAY.
VK2 WAY KJ7 Alma returning. My goodness, mate, you got a lot going on down there in the land down under. Oh my goodness. Got a chock-a-block full of all kinds of fun stuff happening. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we can add to the people here on the list. Who else is out there? Who else is out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and feel free to share your pronouns if you like. This is KJ7OMO, and I'll be standing by for any additional check-ins to the net.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Delta Victor Yankee. It's Kilo Quebec 4, Delta Victor Yankee. I might be having some gear issues. I'm not sure if I'm coming through.
Kilo Quebec 4, Delta Victor Yankee, got you down. Hopefully your gear issues aren't going to be too much trouble here. But we'll play it by ear and see what happens. Anybody else out there wanting to check in before we get carried away? It looks like we have Tony on Discord announcing that he might make an appearance on the net, so we'll see what happens. KQ4 DVY KJ7 OMO, over to you. Kilo Quebec 4, Delta Victor Yankee Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Looks like your gremlins are wreaking havoc with your equipment. Let's send it back to you to try again, and hopefully you'll overcome those pesky gremlins. All right. Well, it looks like they are. It looks like the gremlins have taken down their radio again. So we'll check back with that station here in a little while. Before we kick it back up to the top of the list, was there another station that wanted to come in? Alrighty, back to KC3VAU, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, not too much here in the way of general stuff to report. At least nothing I'm going to come out on the air with. So, as I say, I'm kind of looking for someone else to dictate the conversation tonight. So, see how things go. Going to go ahead and one more time and send it back to you, and then I'll start in with my own conversational stuff. So, back to net control, KJ7OMO. This is KC3VIU.
Alrighty, KJ7OMO returning, not a problem. Back to VK2WAY, KJ7OMO.
Thank you, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, VK2WAY returning to the net. And yeah, hello everyone out there. New voices I don't know, but yeah, that's not to be not a surprise when I haven't been around very much lately. But nice to meet everybody. Let's see what else has been happening. As far as radio things go, not too much. I did order a Quansheng handy the other day. Only because I saw VK2FLY post about it, and it looked pretty cool with some modified firmwares and with a spectrum display and things on it that looked very cool. I think it can RX really well from like 20 to 1,000 megahertz. TX, of course, can do, but it looks yucky. A lot of harmonic that's out of range. So yeah, stick to 2 meter and 70 meter TX on it, of course, but does AM and sideband as well. So yeah, it looks like a kind of fun handy just to have in the backpack kind of thing. So yeah, spent like $30 on it or something, something ridiculously cheap. So yeah, but it looks like a fun radio anyway. Yeah, other than that, been playing with ESP Home's voice assistant, satellites for Home Assistant, and doing some local text-to-speech, speech-to-text, and hopefully soon some wake word detection for some on-premise privacy-first voice assistant linked to my smart home. So yeah, they're the projects and radio update from me. They're Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar on the net. This is VK2WAY.
Nice, nice. I heard about those Quanshangs. I've seen videos of them. There was this one video I watched where somebody, they flashed a modified firmware that not only allowed it to receive, all the way down to, the 20 meter band, but it could also transmit the entire range as well, but with a huge caveat that, from what I understand, I think its capabilities of transmitting down there aren't great, and it can only transmit in either FM or dual sideband. That's, double sideband without the carrier on it, which is rather odd, but, it does the job. Now, when it comes to transmitting double sideband, it doesn't do it perfectly. It's not a great transmitter on sideband. on double sideband. Audio quality is not very good, and yeah, there's a lot of issues with it on double sideband, but it does work. It's a proof of concept at least. But yeah, there's surprisingly so much you could do with that little Quangsheng. It's mind blowing what hams with a lot of hacking knowledge can do. All right, let's see if KQ4DVY is back with us. KJ7OMO. Okay, they're still apparently dealing with gremlins at this time. One moment. Let me get you folks on the live stream back up.
I'll sneak in VK3JD.
Just when I was about to call for check-ins, somebody had to sneak in there. VK3JED got you down. Who else is out? Who out there wants to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. There we go. Oh, sorry, I missed your live chat. I missed your chat there on the YouTube live stream there, KQ4DVY. I was not paying attention to it. Alright, no worries. Alrighty, do we have any other check-ins before we continue? Alrighty, it looks like KQ4DVY has reported on the YouTube live stream chat that he is having some issues at the moment. So he's going to do some troubleshooting on his end. Anyways, VK3JED KJ7OMO. Go ahead and take it.
Yeah, g'day Kimberley, and I don't know who's on the net yet, haven't fired up NetLogger to see, but yeah, as I said on Discord, I'd been away for the weekend running in some pro races, and just got back just about 3/4 of an hour ago, I think, and sort of settled down a bit, and the net started late, so everything sort of conveniently aligned nicely. Anyway, might as well say how it went. Yesterday was quite good. I made the final of the 300 metre handicap event, and then it was a very close finish. The handicapper was obviously doing a good job because we all ended up in a big bunch, and it was boxed in pretty hard to go anywhere. But it was good fun, and it had another 2 events this morning, but didn't get any places today. But yeah, it was a good weekend, and yeah, the event on late yesterday was a surprise success. I didn't think the handicap was there, but it was. Other than that, not a lot. Been testing some new MMDVM host features is in development. I won't sort of say anything more about that yet, but under development, still some issues with bugs, but you got to expect that with new software. So yeah, working with Jonathan, G4KLX as a team on that one. We sort of got to a point where we need to get the all-star people to in to get more knowledge about their side of the interface we're using. Anyway, KJ7OMO, the group, VK3JD, I'll listen and see who's there before next time.
Yes, good to hear you again, Tony. It's been a little while. But yeah, it sounds like you had a lot of excitement there, especially with the pro races and all that stuff. You must have had a good run. Yeah. And yeah, the All-Star stuff, well, hopefully that all gets sorted. It would be nice if the All-Star team could update their, could update to the latest and greatest, asterisks, but I highly doubt they will. Alright, before we kick it back up to the top, was there another station out there wanting to check in? Alrighty, hearing nothing. KC3VAU, you're back on the hot seat, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, actually I have a question. As I understand it, AM is the same as dual sideband. Is that correct? I seem to recall that being true. But it could also be that it covers both sides of the center and not actually two independent bands on there. I always thought it'd be interesting to take a crystal radio and put two diodes, a full-wave rectifier in it. I'm sorry, not the full-wave, the two diodes, and try and detect both sides of the wave. But my mind's not fully with me right now, so if what I'm saying doesn't make sense, I apologize, and hopefully next week I'll be in better shape. So, yeah, I think that'll be good for this round. KC3VIU back to KJ7OMO.
KC3VAU, KJ7OMO returning. Well, you have AM, good old amplitude modulation, where it's basically it has two sidebands plus a carrier, a continuous wave carrier right in the middle of the two sidebands. And then double sideband eliminates that carrier, but otherwise retains the rest of the AM wave. Single sideband not only eliminates the carrier, but it also eliminates one of the sidebands as well. So you could either get upper sideband or lower sideband. And then there's a hybrid type of thing where they would eliminate one sideband but keep the carrier. And I forget what that is, but it's basically single sideband with the AM carrier. So, yeah, we got traditional AM, we got double sideband, single sideband, and single sideband with the carrier. Hopefully that answers your question. Next station on the list, we're putting VK2WAY back on the hot seat, KJ7OMO.
Thank you, Kimberly, KJ7OMO, and the net, VK2WAY returning, and g'day, Tony. Good to hear you. It's been quite a while. I think you might have missed the first few rounds, but I gave a few updates on what I've been up to. Congrats on making it to finals. Pity about the no finish result, but sounds like you're pretty happy with how you performed anyway, so that's always good, and sounds like you've been busy too. Great explanation there, Kimberly. I think you covered everything. And then we've got all the other kinds of modulation as well, if you want to extend that list, but you covered the basics for voice at least there. Yeah, all kinds of fun when we get into digital modulations as well. Speaking of which, actually, another cool feature of one of those firmwares for the radio we were chatting about is FSK modulated messaging app that just runs native across it, which in some versions of that firmware, which looks kind of neat too. But yeah, I'm mostly, it was cheap, and I'm mostly buying it as a scanner / listener / that kind of thing. So yeah, and keen to have a hack with what's available for firmware mods on it, especially seeing it's a pretty cheap handy. Yeah, I saw VK2FLY post about it the other day, I think I mentioned, and yeah, it was like, for that price, yeah, why not? Another handy to the collection, why not? Yeah, probably should slow down the handy habit. There's too many of them lying around now. Anyway, you can never have too many radios, right? Anyway, good to hear you, Tony. I believe you're next or soon. So, yeah, I'll hear from you then. Back to you, Kimberly, KJ7OO and the net. This is VK2WAY.
This is KJ7OMO, your net control station returning. You can never have enough radios in your collection. You must buy more radios. Do not resist the temptation. Just add the radio to cart, check out, pay, and receive the new radio and have fun with it. Add it to the collection, then add another radio to your cart, buy, check out, pay, receive it, play with it, then throw it back into your collection, rinse, repeat. Oh man. Okay. Back to VK3JED KJ7OMO.
Yeah, very small net. I just loaded up a net logger just to see who was on, and yeah, just three of us currently active, plus yourself, Kimberly. Yeah, for Phoebe, yeah, not quite sure you can do anything simple to do all those to detect sidebands separately, and on that note, you forgot one of the related modes, which is ISB, or two actually, you forgot two. ISB, which is otherwise known as independent sideband, which could be with or without a carrier, where it's like two single sideband transmissions superimposed, where the upper sideband carries one set of information, the lower sideband carries something totally different, hence the name independent sideband. And another one that was very common until the last decade or so, VSB, or vestigial sideband, where you transmit like 1.5 sidebands plus the carrier, was used for analogue television. So it had the same envelope characteristics as AM, but used significantly less bandwidth because they chopped off most but not all of one of the sidebands. So yeah, cut the bandwidth from 11 meg down to about 7 over here. So what's that? About 65%. Took 35 off. That's a big gain for packing in TV stations closer together. So yeah, that just rounds out your AM related, your AM related modes, if the family. KJ7RMO, and before I hand over, yeah, good to hear you there, Jared. Didn't know you were there, and I said on Discord I didn't know this was a Ready X-net, although I'm falling into that category too myself, but that's going to hold until Easter at least, and then things should settle back to normal. KJ7RMO with the group BK3JD.
VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Yes, thanks for reminding us on the other two AM related modes. I totally forgot about independent sideband and vestigial sideband. The independent sideband sounds very interesting. Apparently, you could have AM stereo with it. Interesting, very interesting. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there wishing to check into the Pride Radio Group Net, also known as the Worldwide Pride Net? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is KJ7OMO, she, her, standing by for any additional check-ins to the net.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Victor Hotel Foxtrot, WB0 VHF, Evelyn, Bloomington, Minnesota, and she, her.
You got another one. Alrighty, we roped one in. WB0 VHF got you down. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alrighty, do we have any other check-ins? Any other check-ins? Please come now with your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alright, Evelyn, take it away. WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO.
Well, I think you said roped one more in or something like that. More like woke one more up. Took a little nap here after the local net and forgot to hop in here. Had a very short night and then spent some time out in the nice, fresh, chilly air this afternoon. There's usually an event called Hams on the Ice where they go out and operate from a frozen lake. This year, having things not as frozen as normal, we decided to make it a Hams on the Ice on pavement. And as a bonus to that, I got to meet at least two other members of the Pride Radio Group in person at this event. I don't know that they normally check into the net here in the evenings, but I know I've had a lot of discussions with them on the Discord server and such, so it's very nice to put a face and a voice to the names I see there. But other than that, it's been a wonderful day. We'll see if we can get ourselves thawed out enough to sleep comfortably this evening and do it all over again tomorrow, because tomorrow is probably going to be outdoors for another event, a birthday party for a friend's 5-year-old twins. We'll see how that works. That one's definitely designed to be outdoors. That's snowmobile racing. Yeah, the 5-year-olds are snowmobile racing. Oh, wow. I'm not sure how they're going to keep those two boys in check when they get older. Anyway, we'll swing it back your way. WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, it's good to congratulations on getting together face to face with some members of the Pride Radio Group. I would love to actually get together face to face with many of you here in the Pride Radio Group. Perhaps one day we can make that happen. Who knows? But yeah, that would be so cool if all of us could, just meet together and, and have a blast. All right. Before we kick it back up to the top of the list, was there another station wishing to check in? All right. We're going to toss that microphone back to KC3VAU from KJ7OMO.
KC3VAU. Yeah, it's evident I've been under a great deal of strain because, the sigil sidebands, that all came flooding back as the tutorials came by, and I'm like, oh boy. But I ask indulgence because I really have been under a tremendous amount of strain lately, so mental strain, and physical isn't not the greatest of late, but still hanging in there. But as for decoding, I've often wondered if you were able to decode both sides of the AM without getting the carrier. That would be interesting. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to the group. This is KC3VAU, back to KJ7OMO.
KC3VAU from KJ7OMO returning. If you're using a sideband radio, then of course you could decode that double sideband signal without a problem on, either sideband. And if you just have an AM only radio and you encounter a single sideband or a double sideband signal, then if you have an extra noise if you have a noise generator laying around, then you could inject some noise, a carrier, into the incoming signal into the incoming signal on the radio there. Just attach the the signal output of the signal generator directly on the antenna and just tune the frequency of the signal generator until you begin to hear the original signal on the AM only radio, and that works just fine. I've done it before. I've done that before, and it actually works quite well. So, only issue is that if you want to tune that AM radio to a different sideband signal, then you'll have to tune the signal generator at the same time. And, get both lined up. But yeah, that's pretty much how you, decode a sideband, either single or double sideband radio, signal on an AM only radio. And again, sideband only radios could, decode, AM or whatever it wants to decode without problems, since it doesn't need the carrier. All right, we're gonna toss it back to VK2WAY, KJ7OMO. My brain is not firing correctly.
Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, VK2WAY returning. Actually, you said something a moment ago that reminded me. I'm pretty sure we had commercial AM broadcasters in Australia in the 80s. through JED, you might be able to, I was a young one in that period of the 80s, but Tony might remember better than me, perhaps. Anyway, that's my thought on the continuing AM conversation. Back to you, KJ7010, VK2WAY.
Well, I did hear some AM shortwave broadcasts from Australia back um, when ABC Australia was on shortwave. I mean, I heard that station from time to time here in this area. VK3 JED KJ7 OMO. We'll toss it over to you.
Yeah, I can answer that question from Jared. And yeah, you're right, there was AM stereo in the 80s, but it used a different system. You can use independent sideband with a full carrier, and that actually had a name from memory. That was the Kahn, K-A-H-N, system of AM stereo. It didn't take off big time. There was sort of some niche followings, but yeah, so the Kahn system was basically independent sideband. But what we use, at least here in Australia, and a lot of the world followed suit, was the Motorola Sequim system. And basically they used two carriers 90 degrees out of phase. They modulated them with, I think one of them was left plus right, the other was left minus right, I think. Added them together, and then they put that through a limiter to make it a constant amplitude signal. And then they modulated that with a conventional AM modulator and to create the compatible AM envelope. And yeah, the decoder undid all of that in progressive stages. So that was the short version, and you could auto detect because on the left minus right there was a 25 Hertz pilot tone sent. So the decoder chip would look for that, and when it found it, do its magic. And it did work quite well. I actually built a decoder, modded a radio I have, and found it sounded much better in stereo than it did in mono on the same station. And I put a stereo mono switch so I could do them both through the same decoder board. But yeah, stereo was definitely a vast improvement, and in a way it's a shame it didn't stay. Yeah, they sort of mismanaged it and killed it. So yeah, that's a little bit of history. I was in my first or second year of studying electronic engineering at university when AM stereo peaked, and there were projects from magazines like Electronics Australia to build the Motorola decoder board. It was also a dual standard Motorola Harris. Harris was similar system with a different pilot tone that New Zealand originally used, but I had chatting in Discord more recently, I believe they switched to the Motorola system as well. There's a little bit of AM stereo for you. KJ70MO with the group VK3JD.
VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Wow, that's a lot of fascinating information to take in. That's quite the history. Radio history. WB0VHF KJ7OMO. We'll toss it over to you.
Okay, Kimberly. Well, there's a couple of different events at Hamvention that would allow for some eyeball stuff there. One, there's a group that's forming. We've met 2 years now. We kind of met each other. Some of us met each other 2 Hamventions ago, and then last year we actually had a planned gathering for the transmitters. And I know you're on that not Discord. It's an email reflector there. And then I actually found out about this group from a flea market group for the Pride Radio group out there. So there were some other folks there too. So that's a U.S.-based item anyway. Not sure just how many of the VK folks we'd have coming into that. Maybe some of the VE folks, certainly. So that's a couple of eyeball options there if you want to think about that as something that already exists and we can just leverage off of it. And I guess the other thing, the 2 other PRG members that I met today, along with another gal locally here, we're talking about trying to put something together for the YLRL International Women's Day that they're suggesting POTA operations. So we're probably going to be meeting up again here. I guess that's March 8th coming up. That's not that far away. Yikes. So, yeah, seeing folks and interacting with them in person really is another facet of this, even if we are a radio hobby. WIB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff there. Lots of stuff. And the YLRL, that reminds me, I joined that club a while back, but so far I haven't really made contact with the majority of them. I guess I'm just not. I guess maybe I just I'm sorry, I can't think. Something to do with not being aligned with their schedules. Anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so do we have any other stations out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, standing by for additional check-ins to the net. Check-ins, check-ins. Do we have any other check-ins for the net? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically if you'd like to be checked in. Alrighty, hearing nothing, we'll toss it back to KC3VIU from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, Tony, I had one of the radios in my Volkswagen that was able to receive the AM stereo, and being at that time living in the Pittsburgh area, I was able to DX stereo from Detroit, from I think it was Philadelphia, and a couple of other stations that were running that. And it was really wild that they managed to bury that other channel in the in the normal information, such that it was virtually unhearable, if it was at all. and yet there was a whole stereo, another channel there, and it sounded good. It had very, very nice separation on it. It really sounded amazing for AM. It impressed me very much. I think I still have one of those radios. Unfortunately, the transmitter's not running anymore, but it really blew my mind. Always found that fun. Okay, back to net control. This is KC3VIU, back to KJ7OMO.
Where's my Oh, here we go. It would help if I could find the the transmit button on this thing. Okay. I got nothing to say at the moment, so we'll toss it back to VK2WAY from KJ7OMO.
KJ7OMO, this is Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee returning. I'm going to keep this one short because in the last round, VCAT got home with fried chicken, so I'm halfway through eating. So I had to jump up just as you were coming up there to wash my hands so I could pick up the radio for this one. So I'm going to go back to eating. Thank you, Tony, for a detailed explanation of the commercial AM stereo broadcasting standards and how they work. I wasn't aware that it was anything more complicated than what we were talking about there with individual sideband. But it sounds like there was a fair bit more to it. But yeah, thanks for that explanation. Back to you, KJ7OML and the group, BK2WAY.
Alright, not a problem. We're gonna toss it back to VK3JED from KJ7OMO.
AM stereo was fascinating at the time, and it was good technology. It still works well, but a lot of stations have stopped broadcasting in it, sadly. And radio's no longer made for it, although, of course, if you've got an SDR, that shouldn't be too hard for someone to write code. There must be some out there that'll do the mode. But yeah, it's a shame it didn't take off and the manufacturers didn't support it. Even on the relatively narrow IF bandwidth, it still sounded much better than mono on most radios, but I did hear some particularly awful examples that were like a bassy version of a CB type bandwidth in stereo, 3 or 4 kilohertz sort of thing, and that sounded pretty ugly. But the radio I modded, it was only a cheap radio cassette player, and I actually mounted the board on the door where the cassette opened. That actually, surprisingly, it wasn't a good candidate, but it came up really well in stereo, and it's brilliant. And I could listen to the AM music stations a lot more comfortably. If the industry kept it going, it was definitely a worthwhile mode. And getting back to the decoding sidebands independently, I can only think of a couple of basic ways of doing it, and they're basically your single sideband or variation on the single sideband theme, and one is having 2 filters, one for each sideband, and letting the carrier feed through, or using a phase lock loop synchronized to the carrier to demodulate the upper and lower sidebands through separate demodulators. The other, of course, is use SDR sign. And of course you can have two branches running on the same sample cycle independently in parallel. So yeah, there's a couple of ways to do independent sidebands with varying tech. Not sure if there's other ways to do it with analog, but you don't get the control of the bandwidth that has the phase relationship that you can with an SDR. The digital processing just gives you a lot more flexibility, and depending on how big you want to make the filters are, potential for a wider bandwidth. Anyway, yeah, and I enjoy your fried chicken there, Jared. I'd better go and start looking at some other things. And yeah, I might listen around, but yeah, I'll be disappearing fairly shortly. KJ7 OMO, the group VK3JD.
VK3JED KJ7 OMO returning. I wonder how one could transmit a stereo AM through an SDR. Maybe something like a hack RF could potentially transmit stereo AM. Well, sounds like an experiment one would have to try way later on when they can afford the equipment to do so. Hi. All right. Yeah, no worries there, Tony. We'll probably call you. We'll just call you back one more time before we just to see if you're still around. All right, WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO, over to you.
Oh, fried chicken. Oh, that reminds me, I should get a late supper in here pretty soon. With all the stuff I had running around today, the whole schedule's been knocked off with getting up late and doing things outdoors and things like that. So, otherwise, kind of looking through the YLRL membership list since we were chatting about that to see if I can find any other YLs locally here. Maybe we can invite out to the POTA operation we're planning for International Women's Day to get some more of those eyeball QSOs going here. So, but not finding a whole lot of folks in the Minnesota area so far. At least nobody that haven't been aware of already. We'll do a little bit more data mining here while we're listening along, though. That's always fun to do. WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO returning. Yes, data mining, so fun. As long as you don't do it illegally, of course. Yes. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, standing by for additional check-ins to the net.
VK5 ZSH, VK5 Zulu Sierra Hotel, just listening at the moment.
Okay, VK5 ZSH, I'm assuming that's an in and out check-in, so thank you for checking in. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Now, he did say just listening, so I'm assuming that's in and out. Alright, do we have any additional stations out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alrighty, back to KC3 via KJ7 OMO.
I guess KC3 VIU. Yeah, oh, my thought just left me. Yeah, I would like to thank everyone in the group for the discussion there. I'm absolutely fascinated by that, by some of these technologies, and it's mind-blowing. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to net control. So this is KC3 VIU, back to KJ7 OMO.
Alrighty, not a problem. VK2WAY KJ7 OMO. Back to you.
Yeah, KJ7 OMO, VK2 WAY returning. Hopefully I'm making it through from the basement back up to my apartment, but if not, I'll be making it in there very soon. So just checking with you if I'm making it in. Back to you for a moment.
Alrighty, not a problem. I sure wish I could smell that delicious grilled chicken, or fried chicken, I mean, from the radio that you're cooking. Or someone else is cooking. I'm not sure who's cooking the fried chicken, but I wish I could smell it over the radio. Maybe one of these days they'll invent smell-o-vision along with smell-adio. Okay, I'm being silly. VK3JED, that's KJ7 OMO. Back to you if you're still around.
Yeah, that brings a whole new definition to the term sniffer. It's no longer for fox hunting anymore, but also for decoding and presenting smells. So yeah, I'll just wrap up a few things. Your question about using something like a hack RF for generating AM stereo, I don't see why not. The requirements are certainly not particularly onerous, and it just needs the code to be written if it's not already written. It's got to run the right code on it and accept two audio inputs, and you should be able to get AM stereo out the other end without a problem at all in C-QAM, independent sideband, or whatever format you want to do it. Yeah, and for Phoebe, I think, actually, I better get it right. for Evelyn, sorry. Yeah, for Evelyn. Yeah, the eyeball, we've actually done pretty well here because there's a concentration of EK3s. I certainly see the other two locals fairly regularly. And further afield, the ones out of Melbourne, I have caught up at Hamfest. There was quite a few of the VK3s and some VK2s as well. Caught up at the Rosebud Radio Fest in November last year. That was a fun gathering. I'm a bit out of commission to catch up with them for the next couple of months due to the peak of the sporting season, but after that, that potential will come back again. Anyway, I will make this a final, and good to catch up. Not sure when I'll be on next. It's a fairly busy run through till Easter from here. I'll say 7-3 all. I'll be listening, but yeah, won't come back unless there's something particularly relevant or of interest. KJ7OMO with the Group VK3 JED, and good to hear you as well, Jared.
Alrighty, VK3 JED KJ7 OMO returning. Alrighty, well, thank you for hanging out with us, and it's always good hearing you again. 7-3 to you, and hope we'll catch you later on down the log, or on a future net. WB0VHF KJ7 OMO, back to you. We're gonna try for WB0VHF one more time. KJ7 OMO.
It looks like I got everything reset properly here. I had posted on the Discord there for the fact that I had lost my Echolink connection to KJ7OMO-L, and it kept timing out when I was trying to reconnect. So apparently a full system refresh on that piece of hardware and whatnot helped get me back in here. So not sure what else I missed. I've been gone pretty much since my last transmission. I'll leave it at that and go from there. WB0 VHF.
Alright, not a problem. And speaking of Echolink, that reminds me, for those of you who are on the Pride Echolink conference, we seem to be having some issues on that conference at the moment. So if you're trying to check in and you're on the Pride Echolink conference, please QSY to KJ7OMO-Lima, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar Lima, QSY there if you are on the Pride Echolink conference, because we are having the one-way traffic bug again on that conference server. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so is there any other station out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call sign slowly twice and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar she her, standing by for additional check-ins to the net. Alright, do we have any additional check-ins? Any additional check-ins to the net? Please come now if you'd like to check in to the net. Come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, that is. Alrighty, folks. Well, in case if you're not able to, as a reminder, in case if you're not able to check in via voice, you're welcome to check in via NetLogger. You can check in via the YouTube live stream chat. If you're on the Pride Radio Group Discord server, you can check in through that. If you want to use WinLink to check in, no problem. You could send a WinLink message to my call sign, and I can get you checked in through that as well. If you want to email me your check-ins, you may do so by sending me an email to kj7omo@gmail.com. That is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar @gmail.com. You can also use Mastodon for your check-ins. My handle on Mastodon is @kj7omo @mastodon.radio. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar @mastodon.radio. You're also welcome to use my private social media links if you happen to have me added to those. So, yeah, there are plenty of different ways you can check in. And if you're, not yet licensed, if you're not yet a licensed ham radio operator, well, I encourage you to study for your exams and get your ham radio license, because you're missing out if you don't. But in the meantime, you're welcome to use the YouTube live stream, NetLogger, email, or Mastodon options to, or even Discord options to check in, and I'll at least mark you down as a third party. All right. With that out of the way, back to KC3VAU from KJ7OMO. KC3VIU, KJ7OMO. Alright, it looks like we lost Phoebe, so if you could still hear us, 3373 and all the numbers, and we'll catch you next time. VK2WAY KJ7OMO, over to you.
KJ7OMO, VK2WAY returning. Another short one for me, but just two things to note from this one. Your YouTube stream in the title has a date of January 11th, 2024, but says it is live, so yeah, you might have just missed that one, or it's a reused stream key or something like that. And the other one I wanted to mention, actually, and I just remembered, was at some point in the future, still date unknown, the 433.575 frequency in Sydney is probably going to move to another use, and the ROT ASL link that we use will probably move to the 2 meter band. So yeah, more on that when I know more. But yeah, other than that, catch you sometime soon, Tony. If you're still listening, hopefully I might try to come up at more appropriate Tony times and see how we go. Maybe catch up with you then. Dale, if you're still listening, g'day to you too. Good to hear you check in before. But for now, back to you, KJ7OMO, VK2WAY.
VK5ZSH for a quick one.
Alrighty, tuning. I mean, sorry, Jared. No. All right, not a problem. Little bit confused as to what's changing what on the frequency. So if you could elaborate that on the Discord, that would be awesome. And thanks for letting me know on the incorrect date on the YouTube live stream. I have fixed it with a quick edit. And let's see, we have a station wanting a quick comment. We're going to go ahead and jump to the comment station real quick. Go ahead, Dale, KJ7OMO.
KJ7OMO, VK5ZSH returning. Morning, afternoon, evening, whichever is applicable to people on the net here. G'day there, Jared. Long time no hear. Good to hear you up there. I've not long woken up. I haven't been sleeping well, etc. Just got some medical stuff going on, hence why I just logged in as just listening, not as in and out as well there, just to clarify things, because I see them as two different things there. Anyway, and g'day to you there, Tony, as well. Hope things are well, etc. So, anyway, I'll put it back to you there, Kimberly. I'm going to go off and grab a drink, but I can carry the handheld around with me, so that's one good thing there. Hi. KJ7IMO, VK5ZSH.
Alright, PK5ZSH, KJ7OMO returning. Alright, no worries. When someone tells me just listening, I automatically interpret that as an in and out check-in. So you do need to clarify that if you do not intend to be an in and out check-in. Alright, WB0VHF, KJ7OMO, back to you.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened to Hobie there, unless she was too busy, because we are chatting with DMs and Discord here. She's apparently very intrigued about this transmitters group. I know you know about that because I saw you replying to one of the messages there when Stana was added into the group. So, having a little bit of fun here and seeing where it's all going to go for the night. How much longer I'm going to go for the night. Like I said, I had a very short night last night, and it was wasn't a tiring day, but it's one of those days where you get sleepy as a result of everything you did with all the fresh air and stuff. So I'm probably going to have to pack it in here pretty quick and try to make up for a little bit of that sleep. Yeah, I know we can't make up sleep, but get a good night's sleep tonight, because tomorrow might be another long day for me outdoors. And I want to be awake and refreshed for that one too. We'll swing her back your way on WB0 VHF.
Alright, WB0 VHF, KJ7OMO returning. I'm probably gonna wind things down here since people are, dropping out like flies. And my brain is starting to become very scrambled. But before we do we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs solely, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her. They're looking for additional check-ins to the net. do we have any additional check-ins? Any additional check-ins at all to the net before we begin winding things down?
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, I want to apologize. I was chatting with Evelyn, and I started another app, and unfortunately it turned on sound and disconnected from Echolink as well. So, yeah. So I'll give my 73s and 33s to the group as appropriate, and I thank you for running the net, and hopefully everybody will be around for next time. KC3VIU clear.
I was wondering where you went, Phoebe. Alright, not a problem. 3373 and all the numbers, and we'll catch you next time. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start winding things down right now. So, VK2WAY, KJ7OMO. So, apparently the VK2 ROT repeater is moving from 438.575 to 147.025, more than likely. Alright, well, hopefully that will bring us more traffic. From what I understand, the VHF one had a lot more use than the UHF repeaters, so hopefully this move to VHF will bring us a lot more traffic. VK2WAY, KJ7OMO, over to you.
Yeah, KJ7OMO, VK2WAY returning. Yeah, that's just, it's an early heads up at this stage. I'll know dates and plans at some point in the future, but I was asked recently about just our use of it and our club wanting to repurpose a particular frequency. So yeah, that's kind of where the discussion I left came to. I suggested the person also have a chat to VK2BSD and VK2GPU, who are other local members. I'm sure there's others too that can have an opinion. If it goes to a club meeting or something, I will, I'll take it up then. But I'm pretty sure we'll come to a reasonable solution. It is, fairly active on a Sunday afternoon, and I often use it when I'm out and about, which I need to start doing again more instead of skipping that. But often when I'm at work, I don't get a chance to check in. But maybe I should listen or something. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Sounds like this is end of net, and thank you so much as usual for hosting. Good to hear everyone. It's been a pleasure as usual to spend a Sunday afternoon chatting on radio about radio and weather with you all. Hi. But good hearing you all. Thanks for hosting once again, Kimberly, and you have a great night. Back to you, 73s, VK2WAY, back to net control for a final.
VK2WAY, KJ7OMO returning. Alright, not a problem. Well, do let them know that the repeater is still being used, especially on Sundays during our little net to provide some coverage into Sydney. I mean, we hate to lose that coverage, what little coverage we have in Sydney. So, yeah, hopefully, things will, work out with that repeater and we get to keep using it, even if it's on a different frequency. Alright, well, 7-3 to you, and we'll catch you next time. And don't be a stranger now, keep in touch with us, more often. Sheesh. You're becoming a little too rare. Alright, take care, Jared. Alright, WB0BHF for a final KJ7OMO.
Okay, Kimberly. Well, thanks for running things here tonight. Definitely nice to catch up to folks. Sorry I got in a little late. We'll see how that works next week. Let's see, next week, 17th. What's significant about the 17th? I've got something going on. I can't remember what it is. Oh, I'm probably not going to check in next week. There's a dance that's going on that night for a group up here in the Twin Cities area, and I'm going to be one of the folks helping put the decorations up and be an ambassador for other folks there to keep everything going smoothly and such. So I probably won't be around at all next week. We'll see what the week after that holds. I'm not sure what the 24th has. That into the evening anyway. I know what the afternoon has for me there. So, but anyway, everyone have a great couple of weeks, I guess it is. WB0 VHF.
Alrighty, WB0VHF KJ7 all returning. Alright, no worries. 3373 and all the numbers, and we'll catch you next time. Alrighty, before we shut things down, we're going to call for one last final round of check-ins. These are going to be in and out only check-ins now. In and out only check-ins. If you'd like to just real quick, make your presence known, please come forward with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. This is for making your presence known only.
VK2TKW.
Alright, VK2 station coming right at the last minute, right when we're shutting down. Go ahead and say your call sign again and your traffic.
Yeah, VK2TKW. Just calling in, that's all. Got nothing to talk about. Back to you.
Alright, was that Victor Kilo 2 Tango Kilo Whiskey?
Yes, that's a Roger.
Alrighty, thank you for checking in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We're here every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. That would be, I think, around noon-ish, I think, over down under. I'm not sure what the time zone conversion would be between Universal and Australia. But we're here every week at Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, and we are a RAC2 that goes around and around in circles until everybody drops off or until yours truly gets tired, whichever comes first. Alright, well, thank you for checking in, and if you'd like additional information about our net and our network, we have a website that is prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. Alright, any additional very quick check-ins before we shut this net down? Do we have any final comments from previously checked-in stations? Any final comments from previously checked-in stations? Alrighty, everyone. That concludes our net for today. Thank you all for participating and bringing fun to the airwaves. I would like to express gratitude to the Waverly Amateur Radio Society in Sydney for allowing us to hijack their system in order to, connect ours to it and relay this net. And, of course, special thanks to VK3JED and VK2WAY for their contributions to make this network possible, and the entire Pride Radio Group as well. For information about the Pride Radio Group, visit prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. And from there, you could, join the club. It's free. You do need access to Discord, however, if you'd like to join. I now release all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their regular amateur use. Thank you once again, and 7-3 to everyone from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. This net is now closed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 check-ins, including yours truly. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you all. And 7-3 once again from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. I'm out of here. Alrighty, folks on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream right here. Feel free to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll catch you on the next one. Who knows, I might, try for some HF contacts, or maybe I'll upload some video, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this live stream now. We'll see y'all later. 7-3 from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar.